right? For the maximum, I have to write max. Then I have selected the range, and then I have closed that bracket. Then just see why I have took this very simple data, because from your normal eyes also you can able to calculate, you can able to guess, or you can able to know which one is the highest value of this series. It is 17, right? 17 came here. If I'm going to ask you what is the minimum value of this particular series, so just by observe you can able to know the one is the minimum value of this series. But I'm going to calculate it for you through formula. MIN, minimum, bracket start, select the series, bracket close, enter, value came 1, right? So now what is the range formula? Range formula, right now I'm going to show you again on your screen. Range formula is maximum minus minimum, right? So here you're going to have calculate in the Excel sheet maximum minus minimum. This is the calculation that we have normally using in Excel sheet. Enter, the value came 16. So it's very simple. Why I have to very simple data for you, so that you can able to understand that through formula whatever the answers are coming, it is correct. So 17 minus 1 is 16. So what we have did, we have calculated the range. Okay. Now we're going to have take a next concept, that is our quartile concepts. Quartile concepts we already have discussed in our last class. We have normally 4 quartiles of a particular data. Then first quartile is a value, middle value between the lowest number and the median. So lowest number of the series we have to take, that is 1, right? I'm going to have delete the 17 here because I didn't took that 17 in my data. I have took the data from 1 to 16. Okay, right? So again, the series is on your screen right now. 4.7 is the middle value, that is between 1 and our median value is 8.5, right? So second quartile is 8.5, that is our median only, that is 8.5. Then third quartile is our this value, that is median and highest value, but it means that 8.5 and the highest value is 16. So it is 12.25, and the highest value is our fourth quartile, that is 16. So this is other 4 important values that is in front of us, and through this we can able to calculate the interquartile range. For interquartile range we need Q3 and Q1. So we have Q3, that is 12.25, and Q1 we have 4.75. So interquartile range is 7.5, right? That is on your screen right now. I'm again going to show you. That is on your screen right now. It is what? Third quartile, first quartile. So interquartile range is minus third quartile minus first quartile. That is middle value. Approx 50% of the data are concentrated in small range only. So it is not affected by the extremes, right? So that is the benefit of quartiles. So I'm going to have show you that. For example, we're going to have take this particular graph. You can understand through graph also, right? अरे यार, okay, now it's okay. It's a due to this connection, the screen has off, right? So this is we are discussing about interquartile range. Interquartile range is the formula that is on your screen. Again, I'm going to show you here. That is the formula. It's a difference between the third quartile and the first quartile. First quartile is what? It's a middle value between the least value, that is lowest number, and the median. So here in our example, median is 8.5. So this is our value between 1 and 8.5, that is 4.75, right? And third quartile is what? Middle value between the median, that is 8.5, and the highest value, that is 16. So it is 12.25, right? So according to this particular, that is on your screen right now, this PPT sheet is there, slide is there. Then we're going to have understand the importance of quartile range. It's the difference between the first and third quartile, that is Q3 minus Q1, is often called the interquartile range or the mid spread. This includes only the middle 50% of the data and therefore is not influenced by extreme values. So that is the advantage of interquartile range, because it is not influenced by extreme values. Extreme values means those values are at the end of the particular distribution of frequency, right? So I'm going to have show you on the Excel. Now you're going to have take this example, right? I'm going to have this. Just see here. This is the distribution. Okay. 2 minutes, whatever. Now this is a distribution, right? So for example, first quartile is what we have, 4.75, this one, right? This is our first quartile, for example. Then it's a middle value. Middle value is what we have, median is 8.5, right? Now this is our third quartile. The value was 12.25. Then it is our fourth quartile, that is the highest value, 16, right? So now you'll see here, if this Q3 minus by Q1, right? So Q3 is from here, right? I extended the line up to here. From here up to here is Q3. If I'm going to have minus this Q1 is this. So then what happens? This much of area is available. So just see, this area have not extreme. This one is also not there, and this one is also not there. So the 50% of the data will lie in interquartile range. This is interquartile range, right? This one is interquartile range, middle, right? So that's why this interquartile range is always free from this extreme range, right? So that is the benefit of interquartile range. Okay, now again we're going to PPT. So this is our example. This is right. Hello, please mute your mobile mics, because disturbing. Okay, now the next concept about measures of dispersion is, that is computing the variance. So variance also is one of the very important concept in our this measures of dispersion, where population formula is on your screen. That is our square standard population, that is summation n xi minus mu, and then square upon n. And for sample we have square, and we have x minus x bar. So here population mean is there, here population mean is there, and here we have sample mean, right? Not much difference. Here we have total population numbers, here we have sample. So difference is what? This -1. Otherwise this formula and this formula is same. Population formula for variance is same, but the only difference is what? Only difference is we have here 1, right? So how are you going to have calculate in the Excel? It's very easy. If you have any data, we just use the variance.t, then you have to select the range, right? Same thing here also, variance.s, then you have to calculate the range. So not much difference is there, but we have to see how we're going to have calculate that, right? Okay, so variance is somewhat very difficult, or you can say it's not much accurate one, because the values we are calculating in the squares, right? So make it more accurate, the next concept that we have to be very much concerned, that is our standard deviation. Standard deviation is normally more accurate. We are normally consider it a more important concept, because in standard deviation the things are not in the form of square. So here also example that is on the front, cost per order. This is of the observation. What we have did, we have calculated the series, that is xi minus mean, right? This is our xi value, right? We have to calculate the mean value. So mean value here is what? It is mentioned, mean of the cost. So this, right, minus by this. Then what we have required, according to formula, we have required the square, right? So we have got we have to calculate the square value. So what we have did, we have squared this value. This value is square, right? And we have get these values. Then what we have did, summation. What we required, summation. So the summation value is this one, right? Then we have to divide it by the total observation, that is n minus 1. So if n is 94, then we have to 94 minus 1 will come, right? So by that way also we can calculate. If it is not, we can calculate with a simple formula, variance dot s. B to select the range. But sometimes in the exam, they're going to ask us about the how to calculate the standard value of the particular variance. So in that case, we have to tell them the whole detail, right? So I'm going to have calculate it for you people in a very simple manner, because here the values, here you all are seeing that values are very typical one. So I will not going to have use these values, right? I'm going to have show you again in the Excel sheet. For example, this is our xi. We would take xi 1, 2 like this. Again up to 16 I will take, right? Then here, what is that? Here we have to calculate this formula that is on the screen. Xi minus mean, right? Xi minus x bar. X bar mean value, or you can now what we have to do? We have to calculate the mean, right? Right, average, bracket closed, select the range, bracket closed. Now enter. Now we have got the mean value 8.5, right? Now what I should have to do? I have to now get the xi minus x bar. So what I should have to do? I would equal to, what I have to do? Equal to xi means this value minus mean value means this value. But again, the problem is what? This particular cell is fixed one. Mean value is same for all the xi items. So what I have to do? I have to fix this particular value. Right? Enter. Now I have to drag it. Okay. Now after dragging, I got the values of xi minus x bar, that is mean. Now what I have to do? I have to square this value, right? That is according to formula xi minus x. I have to square this value. For square, we have used in computer this formula, this notation. If you're going to have use the shift button, if you have used the shift button and you have to press the 6, then this formula will come, inverted V, right? This one, it means that raised to 2, we need a square. We have to square the value, right? So now what we have to do? Now we have to again put the formula. The formula is what? Equal to, this is x minus x bar, then raised to, we have to square the value, square. Now this value came. Now we have to drag it. The formula is going to applicable for all the cells. Then we have to add the value. Summation is here. Now 340 came, right? Now what we should have to do? The formula is on front of you. What was the formula? What we required? We got this value. We got this value, summation of xi minus x bar. Right? This value we have, that is 350. Okay. Now the Excel sheet, sorry, 340. It was 340. Now what we have to do? We have to minus this value, right? Equal to sign this value. Then we have to divide it. Number n is 16 minus 1. Right? So just see it very carefully. In next, if we're going to have select any value, so we don't have to write it. We just click on it, cell. We click it. So this C18 is what? C18 is 340 divided by 16 minus 1. 16 is our total numbers. 1, 2, like this. We have n is our n is equal to 16. 16 minus 1, n minus 1, that is formula. Right? Now the value is 20.25. Okay. Now, for example, if I'm going to have equal to sign, I will use the variance. I have did what I have did here. I have used the sample n minus 1. I have used the formula variance. I have the formula where variance dot s, right? That it will come here. Dot s. Dot p means, now what I have to do? I have to select the range. This is our values, xi values. Then, right? Here some sample formula is value is different because we have took the s. If I am going to took the what we call it, variance population, var dot p, then select var dot p, select the range. Right? Calculation. Manually we have did somewhat differences are there. This is the Excel formula for calculating the variance of sample. This is the Excel formula that calculating the variance of population, right? And this is the manually we have did, right? Xi minus x bar, that is 340 total came, then formula n minus 1. So it's a 16 total value, 16 minus 1, right? I think here average we have to took again somewhat. right? So just here we have calculated the variance in three ways. First, we have calculated the variance manually, that is in our formula that is on your screen, this one, xi minus x bar whole square upon n minus 1, right? Or variance as selected the range. So normally manually we have calculated this one, right? Manually we calculated this one, then through formula we have calculated this one, okay? And for population we have calculated this one. So there are three values we have calculated by three way, right? Now the next concept is here we have calculated a deviation, standard deviation. The same value is there for population, the value is somewhat different, and for the standard deviation was there, but and I am not able to understand whether it is connected or not, right? Okay. Just check here the concept of Excel. Are you able to see these values? This one is what? Is the xi minus x bar whole square summation, right? The whole value is what? Is here 340. Xi minus x bar whole square summation 340. This value is what? This value that we have manually calculated is what? Is the variance, sample our variance, that is summation xi minus x bar whole square divided by sample n minus 1, right? 16 minus 1, right? And this value what we have is calculated, we have calculated the through Excel, that is for sample, and this is for population, this one 21.25. Now just see here what is the what we have not able to get in our last presentation, where I have I'm somewhat confused that why these two values are not coming same. Here it is same. I will show you what is the reason. The reason is, just see here, I have not used this bracket sign. Just see, it was 20.25. That last time it was, when I was confused, the value was 20.25. Why? Because what happened? According to the formula of mathematics, that Bodemas, first it divided the things and then it minus the things. So whatever the value will come after this 20.25, if the value is 21.25, 340 divided by 16 is 21.25, then it minus 1. Then value is came 20.25. First it divided it, then it minus with 1. So just see here why this Excel is very important, because it's totally work over the mathematical calculation, principles of mathematical calculation. And what we have did that we have did here, we have forgot it. We have to calculate, we have to put the bracket sign here. Now what happened? Due to this bracket sign, the 340 is now divided by 15. Now see, the both values are right. Now see here, both the values. Now both the values are same because of what? Because of formula only that we have used. The formula for our, here again I'm showing you a PPT. That is for population is sigma square. So for population it's n, only total populations, and here if it is sample then n minus 1. So just here also the first formula that we have used for our calculation purpose, it was sample. Sample means what we have used the formula, we have used the formula summation xi minus x bar whole square. This is the population variance minus divided by n, right? If it is n, then it should be what? It should be 16 only. And if it is sample variance, then instead of this, it should be small n minus 1, that is 16 minus 1. So this is the difference between the population variance and between the sample variance, right? So this is sample variance and this is population variance. That is the difference here. So what we have did in first, we have minus n minus 1. It's a sample variance, right? And here also we have used the formula of variance dot s. So it's an Excel formula. It's an Excel formula. We have to put, you have to first equal to sign in the particular equal sign. Then we have var dot s, then bracket, select the range, this range, right? And then what is the formula? What is the value? Value came, the value is 20 points, same, that we have calculated the manually, because here n minus 1 is there. Now I just want to show you, instead of that n minus 1, if I'm going to take only population, that is, for example, if it is population, if it is not sample, then see this value and this value is now same, this value and this value. This value and this value is same, because this one is also calculate population and this one is calculated through our Excel formula, right? This one is calculated through Excel formula, this one variance P, and here also we are not minus the value with 1. It means we have considered this whole value as a population. That much of people are only be there for the, that much of items are only be there for our analysis. So this is all about the variance that we have calculated. But variance as per this formula, as you are seeing that this square is there, so it was sometimes for the researcher, it is quite difficult for them to manage the units with other samples, with other calculation, right? So that for that purpose, it is better to calculate, instead of variance, a particular standard deviation, where the same everything is same. The only difference is what? This square is now goes this side and it becomes square root as per our mathematical formula. This square is came on this side in the form of square root. Otherwise, this one also and this one also is same as it is we have calculated in variance. Right. And what happened here? Everything is same. The formula here I have used is STDEV for population, and then we have to select the data range, and STDE, then we calculate select the data range. Right. So that is the major concept here that we have to understand. It's a square root. Okay. Now again, what we should have to do? We have to go for the same thing. The only difference is we have to make the square root of all these things. Okay. In the Excel, I have already calculated. Now, this is what I have did. Okay. The only thing is what we have to now square root the particular value. So as we already have, I already have shown you people that in our last session, right now only in our calculation of when we have calculated this variance, right? So we have got the same values here. You are all getting this, right? 22.667. That is our sample, and this one is population value of variance. The only thing that we have to now square root it. Square root this value also and square root this value also. And this is the square root of sample, and this is the square root of population. Sorry, this is the square root of population, and this is the square root of sample. And for this purpose, in the Excel, we have to use a simple formula, that is square root. This one, SQRT. Start the bracket, use that value, close the bracket, and we'll get this value. SQRT. In Excel, we need SQRT. Then start the bracket, click on the value. I need this value. I click it on, and I close the bracket, and this value will come. Right. So by this, we can able to calculate the standard deviation. Right. Okay, so I think we're going to have discussed more over this concept of standard deviation and variance in our next class.